Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the 7th annual Northern New England ALS Symposium and Expo. My name is Mauret, Brinser, and I am the Executive Director for the Northern New England chapter. And once again, I am so thrilled that all of you are here participating in day 3 of our virtual symposium. I would like to start by providing some background to those of you that are not familiar with our chapter. The Northern New England chapter was founded in 1999 to serve the needs of those living with ALS and their caregivers residing in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. We are the only organization that is fighting ALS on every front, leading the way with 3 mission priorities. The first is research, the second is care services, and the third is advocacy. The Northern New England chapter is one of 39 chapters across the U.S. providing support in all 50 states. I hope you all were able to join us last Friday for day 2 of our virtual symposium. It was another great event. Our main presenters included Dr. Brian Traynor, a neurologist and senior investigator at the National Institute on Aging and adjunct faculty at Johns Hopkins University. He presented the Yellow Brick Road from ALS gene discovery to therapy. Jill Johanning is a Maine licensed architect at Alpha One. She shared information about home modifications. David Doan is president and CEO of Mission Possible and is a person living with ALS in Maine. He shared information about his ALS journey. And then finally, we had Brenda Schroeder, who is a registered nurse at Midcoast Neurology and Midcoast ALS Clinic. She talked about symptom management. Based on the feedback that we received on day 2, it was another great success. And I'm sure today will be just as great. I really do wish that all of us were in the same room together so I could see all of your faces and be able to interact with you. For me, that's really the best part of the symposium. But as we all know, COVID-19 has made that impossible for this year. But as we have all found, there is some benefit to being able to participate in these types of programs from the comfort of your own home. So how many of you imagined the year 2020 being as challenging as it has been? I can share that I never imagined that we would be impacted by a pandemic and need to isolate as we've had to. The threat that COVID-19 has created for the ALS community is tremendous. Of course, the biggest concern is how vulnerable the ALS community is to the virus and how every precaution needs to be taken in order to safeguard the respiratory health of each person with ALS. But I also believe that being together and connecting with others is just as important. Requiring ourselves to isolate from friends and family is difficult for all of us. But for those living with ALS, it feels cruel. No one should have to live with ALS and deal with a pandemic. I'm sure all of you have had to make some difficult decisions with who you can be with and remain safe. But since March, that has been the focus for all of us. And as a chapter, we've had to discontinue all traditional visits and one-on-one contact. In some ways, it was really an easy decision because frankly, we had no choice. But it was really hard in other ways because our best work is when we are with those that we support and serve every day. We are fortunate that with technology advancements, we have been able to provide care and support through virtual means. Throughout this symposium program, I have shared just how proud I am of the care services team of the Northern New England chapter, specifically Amber Stalker, Lori McFerrin, and Karen Hammer Williamson. They all work so hard to continue the support that all of you rely on. And thanks to this team, we haven't discontinued one care service program. So what I'm highlighting here is that all programs that were offered in 2019 were offered again in 2020. We have had to make some changes in how we deliver our programs and services. So for example, our support groups and home visits and caregiver labs and conferences have all been delivered virtually instead of face-to-face. Even our Walk to Defeat ALS campaign continued virtually. So instead of all of us coming together and walking from one central location, we encourage people to walk in their neighborhoods. And it's been successful. As we have said before, ALS doesn't stop, and neither do we. Okay, so let's talk about our last and final day of the symposium. In addition to our speakers, the team has built in time for attendees to visit our expo area and talk with our various exhibitors and about their products and services. And we have built in some fun activities for attendees to participate in and possibly win a prize. All of this information can be found on the brochure that all of you should have received. If you don't have your brochure, visit the Care Services and Development booth where you can grab another one. So let's take a few minutes to review housekeeping items. During our symposium, we will be experiencing a bit of a delay as we transition from one topic to another. Don't be alarmed, just wait a few minutes for the next session to start. During longer breaks and lunch, which will be announced, feel free to go to the expo area. The exhibitors have been selected for their expertise in ways to make your lives easier and better. To say hi and join a friendly booth conversation, click the Join a Meeting button. Not only do you earn game points, but you will also receive great information that will help you or maybe a friend or family member. To visit our expo area, lobby, or stage, just navigate to the blue bar on the left of your screen and click the area that you are interested in visiting. If you're not sure where to go, see the info desk at the lobby or send a chat message from the lobby and Karen will help. This symposium is being recorded and you will have access to the presentations post-event. You will have the option to ask questions of each of your presenters. You will see a chat icon on your screen, which you can utilize to ask questions. If we're not able to get to your question, we will follow up separately to answer your specific question. If you experience any technical difficulties, you can use the chat icon to get assistance, or you can email Amber. Her email is located on the ticket that you received after registering. But if you don't have that ready, her email address is astalker@alsanne.org. And lastly, we encourage all of you, attendees and exhibitors, to stay for the final session today. We want to introduce you to all of the Northern New England team so that you can put a face to the name and learn who to call for what. Our goal is to keep the conversation going. Just because the symposium ends doesn't mean that we stop our engagement with one another. So putting on a virtual symposium takes a lot of work over a long period of time, and we couldn't do it without our volunteers and our supporters. So I'd like to take a few minutes to thank those that have been instrumental in helping us to make this year's symposium a reality. First, a huge thank you to our symposium planning committee. This group of people met on a monthly basis for the last 9 months to create a successful event. In addition to our care services team of Amber, Laura, and Karen, I'd like to thank Dr. Greg Cox, Tammy Destin, Ginny Demers, David Kelly, Richard Fredericks, Dustin Keelty, and Carol Allen. I'd also like to recognize our speakers for today's event. Dr. Kuldip Deve is the presenter for today's topic on research. Dr. Deve is the Vice President of Research at the ALS Association. Grace Plummer will be presenting 2 topics today. The first is coping with difficult emotions. The second is mindfulness and stress reduction. Grace is a licensed social worker at the Midcoast ALS Clinic. And Pam and David Kelly are from New Hampshire, and they will be sharing their journey with an ALS diagnosis. Lastly, thank you to our sponsors for the event. Our presenting sponsor once again this year is Herron & Smith. Gold level sponsor is Control Bionics. Silver level sponsor is Kennebec Pharmacy and Home Care. And bronze level sponsors are 101 Mobility and Apria Healthcare. Okay, so now without further delay, I'd like to introduce you to Tammy Destin. Tammy is the president and CEO of Herron & Smith, our presenting sponsor. Tammy has been a long-time durable medical equipment partner of the chapter, and she is also a member of our advisory council and serves as vice chair. Please welcome Tammy Destin.
Thank you, and good morning to all. We're proud again to be a major sponsor of this virtual event. I'm Tammy Destin. For those who don't know me, I'm the president owner of Herron & Smith. And for over 35 years, we've been providing home care medical equipment, education advocacy to families in all over New Hampshire. Herron & Smith shares a philosophy of the association. And for over 10 years, as Mauret has said, we've been a partner with the Northern Chapter in providing educational support to families. And we also help manage the New Hampshire ALS Equipment Loan Closet. Being on the chapter's advisory board, I see the commitment and passion from the team at the Northern New England chapter, and together we continue to be a strong advocate for you and your family. And with that, I'm pleased to announce Dr. Cox will be introducing today's research presentation. Dr. Cox is an associate professor at Jackson Laboratory in Bar Harbor, Maine. Dr. Cox's research is focused upon mouse models of spinal muscular atrophy with respiratory distress, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, muscular dystrophies, and a spectrum of motor neuron diseases, along with peripheral neuropathy. He also currently serves on the chapter's advisory board with myself and the symposium planning committee. Please welcome Dr. Cox, and please enjoy your day 3 of the virtual symposium.